and other people, we're getting waved at.
Oh, we're live? Okay, cool. I don't see the little live button up there, but I guess we're live. And this would be episode 6 of Behind the Tool Belt on the road at Wind the Storm, Dallas 2024. I'm sitting here with my friend Adam
GeoScan.
with GeoScan. Mike Goldenstein was over here and introduced me to Adam, said he is a gentle giant of a man and that he looks up to him. Now, mind you, I think Mike might be 4'6", so I can see why he looks up to him.
It's a good day. He's got big shoes on today.
Yes, he does have big shoes on today. And at some point in time, Mike Goldenstein from Roofle or Roof Quote Pro will be joining us, I hope. So, Mike, if you're out there, don't hesitate to join us later. But anyhow, Adam, what do you think of the show so far?
You know, it's really been a good turnout. The facility's great. The people that have put it on, you can tell they did a really good job. Everything, the whole package coming in, the location of the place, or all the facilities inside the Anadil, which I probably said that wrong. It's a great space. Across the board, all the facilities.
100%.
It's a really good venue. It was cool seeing a bighorn outside or a longhorn outside that people were sitting on. It's more interactive, I'd say, for people than the last one I was at.
Absolutely. And like you said, the venue itself, I think there's a lot of history in this building too. The East Berlin Wall, pieces of that are here, and then there's some other art and artifacts and stuff that if you walk through the hallways, that's legit art from other countries and stuff. And if you look on the wall, there's like a little brass tag that will tell you what it is and where it came from and how old it is.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of historical stuff, and I'm guessing that you're right, that there's a lot of history in this, and I know that Texas is a huge historical state in general, and very proud of it. So, it's cool to do a tour someplace and look around and see what they're proud of. Because people are proud of where they're from, and it's great.
Absolutely. And Texas is definitely one of those states where they're proud to be Texans.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it seems like, and not to sound cliche, but it does seem like everything is bigger here. Like, I don't even know, like the flag, you're coming down whatever highway, 385 or whatever it was like, geez, like the flag is like the size of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Right? And then like the animals, the people, it just seems like everything's a little bit bigger down here. But I love Texas. We've been to Texas, I think 2 or 3 times already this year for different events. And it seems like, Texas is just a great place to be. The people, the hospitality, the food.
Oh, the food's fantastic.
Is amazing here in Texas. We always try to hit up at least one barbecue place when we're here. So hopefully tonight we'll be able to venture out a little bit and check out some of the food, because we haven't did that yet. But anyhow, we're at the Win the Storm Conference 2024. Josie Parks and his team are doing an exceptional job. I mean, this far, the hospitality from their team, even the union back on the docks worked with us very well. And we've been to some venues before where that was just a different world.
Absolutely. Same thought.
Yeah.
That the guys that we dealt with when we got here were a lot more pleasant to work with.
Yeah.
Not complaining, pushing, and shovey, and
So get out of the way. Don't touch anything. We got to bring it all in and stuff like that. Yeah, we didn't deal with that too much. But Adam, what brings you to Win the Storm this year?
So we are a company that's been around for over 30 years, and we worked in the government space for a long time. Capturing aerial imagery and doing mapping and stuff for different municipalities around the country, doing different data source and putting data together for them to use for property and tax value assessment and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then we kind of saw a little bit of a space where we could add our different style of material and data that we capture into this market. So a little over a year ago, we brought a new product onto the market for roof measurements, and we provide everything that you need to put together an insurance claim or do a retail quote from aerial imagery.
Okay. So is it like a CRM or?
Nope, it's a roof measurement. We just do digital roof measurements, and we build true 3D models.
Okay.
So the data inside of the images allows us to build things exactly as they sit.
Okay.
And basically how we build them, it ends up giving us the pitch instead of having to enter the pitch in to make a model 2D go to 3D.
Okay.
So everything that we have a fully digital solution. There's nothing that you need to print. We just revamped a bunch of stuff a few months ago to where everything we do now is mobile first. So what you see on your computer screen is besides the fact that it's smushed together, it's exactly what you see on your phone. So it works on a phone, tablet, computer. It crosses all the boundaries between, different software platforms, different computers. Everything looks and works the same everywhere you go. So the interaction and response we've got from customers is really good because it's easy.
Okay.
It just kind of guides you along the tour. We've linked a couple of different products together so you can fast upgrade from one product to the next. And we simplified things to get you everything you want quick, because everybody in this market, the one shortage that everybody has is time. Nobody has enough time. So the quicker we can get our products to you, what you need, that's been our goal.
Okay. So what's the average time frame to get a report back?
So we have two different model plans. We have one that's very, very fast. It's about 90% accurate, national coverage. I'd say like the Continental 48, we have all of them except for, like Area 51 or something like that.
Okay.
That takes about 20 to 30 seconds.
Wow.
And it'll put you in the ballpark, gives you a pitch range, which is really close. And then we can turn around and you can upgrade that, and you can go to our full model, and that's on a per facet basis. So that takes around 24 hours. Could be a lot less. It could be a couple hours. It just depends on our volume.
Yeah.
But for the past year and a half, when the product really went to the point where we're ready to start pushing it to live, we really built up our back end, and we have enough people to support it. So we haven't seen a lag yet.
Okay.
We can turn around product really fast. So it's getting there. 24 hours is really safe for anything, and we can do anything from a single family up and over, 2 slopes, to 50, 70, 200 square flat roof.
Wow.
And we'll turn them all out. And it's been pretty cool.
Yeah,
We've been
amazing.
real happy.
That's amazing. Okay. So I heard you say that basically any device that use Apple,
Yep.
Android,
Yep.
assuming laptop, desktop, all that good stuff. So how long have you guys been in the market or on the market?
So we've been in the market with our 2 new products for a little over a year.
Okay.
We really started pushing it this past year this past IRE, because we were at IRE and Win the Storm last year, and there was a lot of things that we heard and learned from the customers that they wanted to see. And so we pulled back a little bit on sales. We did a lot of R&D and like focus groups with some people.
Yeah.
And we had a couple contractors in the Twin Cities that put us against side by side, us, Eagleview, and Hover. And at the end of the season, the second half of the year, one company went exclusively with us, and they did around 30 million in pitched roofs.
Wow.
And they're using us exclusively now.
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Now, obviously, this didn't happen overnight. We were talking a little bit earlier. So how long has it been in like R&D?
There's been different parts and pieces of the software that we have that's been built honestly over the past 30 years.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the image capturing and how we use the data in the imagery, that's been something we've been working on and with for years.
Yeah.
20 years.
Right. So you guys, not necessarily a 1 year ago startup company. There's a lot of smart people on the back end that's been working on this platform for over 30 years.
Yes.
So it's a very robust platform.
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of time and data analysis, let's say, done in the background.
Okay.
And it's been done over the past 30 years.
Yeah.
And
Okay. No, and I like that because there are some other aerial imagery, roofing, takeoff applications out there and stuff like that. But I mean, there are a few out there, but there seems like there's a lot of room for growth, and and I think some of them, seem like they take forever, or they say it'll take an hour, but it really takes like 3 hours. And I think what I like about what you were saying earlier, like it only takes like, not only, but like you said 24 hours, but that's safe, and that's you being real about it. It might only take 3 hours.
Right.
But what I think you're saying is like you're under promising, but like trying to
undersell, over deliver.
Yeah, exactly. With this application, is it or will it be integratable with CRMs?
Yeah, we're actually looking at multiple solutions. One of the big things we want to do is we want to be able to work with everybody. We don't want to, it's our only us. We don't want to work with anybody else who have to come on our way.
Yeah.
We want to be able to integrate, work with, or provide a solution, even if it's not run directly through our system.
Right.
A solution for people. We want first and foremost, we want to be known for our accuracy, and we want to be known for how well we take care of our customers. So if that means that it's helping somebody with a path to get somewhere else, we want to do that because we want to be the place that people want to go. We want people to come to GeoSpan for a solution or help.
Yeah.
You know, and that we'll do that, and we're not going to know you're not using this platform, so we're not going to talk to you. You know, we want everybody across the market, from adjusters to roofers to the small companies to the big companies. We want to be able to work with everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit different flavor or take
Yeah.
on
like
the
that.
industry.
Yeah.
And I think it's needed. I think it's time.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see people work more together instead of being against each other, trying to beat each other up. Not saying that we don't want to make money, because who works for free?
Exactly.
We're all here to make money, but
Yeah.
there's a couple different ways you can go about it.
Yeah. No, and I like that mindset. We talk a lot about, collaboration and partnerships, and your network is your net worth. And before we got on the show, we were talking about Mike and Roofle and stuff like that. And Mike and Roof Quote Pro have become a part of our network, right? Like, whether it be from people he's introduced me to, right? Like with new apps and stuff like that, aerial measurements, because we have a roofing business too. But those partnerships have really, especially over time, the longevity of those partnerships and friendships that we've gained over the years. There's a gentleman, for example, that we've done work for probably close to 17 years, right? He started out small, but as he grew, we grew. And then as his network grew, our relationships with his network grew as well. And honestly, if looking back, we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for the partnerships that we've developed over the years, or the networking that we developed. And as I'm sitting here thinking about it, it's like, I need to call that guy and thank him for all the relationships, being the conduit, basically to all these relationships that he's introduced me to. Because this, the podcast and stuff, I'm going to get probably a little more personal here, switch the conversation a little bit, but like, roofing has been like the vehicle for us to be able to do this. Because people ask me all the time, like, well, why do you do the podcast? And the podcast started out as a way for us to promote our charitable events in our local area, is how this all began. And it's evolved into a platform where like-minded people can come collaborate, talk about how we're trying to change the industry together, whether through products, value, ethics, how we conduct business, like everything. And there is a huge group of us that are actually really trying to leave this a better place than it was when we found it, right? And we talked a little bit about that, and it really, and I know if Mike brought you over here, I can already tell what kind of person you are, because Mike and I have had these conversations on deep personal levels of like what our personal core values are, whether we have them written down or not, and live by them. And it's more so authenticity, and ethics. Like what do we do? How do we act when actually nobody's watching?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I can say the same thing about Mike too, because I don't think he wouldn't have brought me over here, and I've known him for a decade at least. He wouldn't have brought me over here if he didn't think that you were worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've had as many discussions with Mike about not work stuff if I have for work, and I know about stuff that his kids do and vacation times and whatever. And not that he doesn't post a bunch of stuff on social media too, but it's just as much fun to talk to Mike, or even more fun to talk about not work stuff.
Yes.
But know too that, hey, we can talk about work things and have a personal conversation too, and it helps build the bond. And it's been a lot of fun, especially at this event, where you meet somebody and see them, and then you run into a bar and you sit down and you talk, and you don't just find out just about their business, but you find about like what kind of person they are. And is this somebody that I want to, not that I don't want somebody to be a customer, because I don't personally like them, but it's a lot better to do business with people that you get along with, and you remember people, like, hey, I'm going to call Joe for this, and know that if I call Joe and ask him for something, he's going to give it to me. Great. And then, Scott or Steve or Tim or whoever, they're going to take care of what they need to do. We don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
And you get rid of a bunch of that drama and not working, things not working out and having a bunch of issues. When you work with better people, you get better results. And it makes all of us feel better and happier, because we don't have, who wants to have a heart attack at 35?
Right.
Because they're working with terrible contractors or terrible partners. Nobody wants that.
No.
So having good people around is great.
Absolutely.
And-
Yeah, on so many different levels.
Oh, absolutely.
The team
absolutely.
you work with or other
Yep.
companies that you work with, knowing that you can trust them. And if they make a mistake, they're honest with you. Like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I couldn't get back to that email or whatever the case might be, because we actually know them. And when you were talking, it's like people like to do business with people.
Right.
Like that they enjoy. And it's like, and that can be whether at the door or on a more corporate level of partnerships and things like that. It's like we do business with Mike because I like Mike.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
and also the product is great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That obviously is a plus as well, is
Yeah.
that the product is great. Plus I love the people over at Roofle, every single one of them. I
Yeah.
mean, Travis, Joe
Yeah,
Huffman.
they have a great team. They
Yeah.
have a great team.
You know, I love those guys, and their culture aligns so much with our culture. It's like we get to do this, and that's kind of like we don't have to do this. We don't have to go to work.
Right.
Like we get to go to work, and we enjoy being around those that we work with, and their culture, man. They're continuously just having fun. Like
Yeah.
Mike last night was running around
In a barrel.
in a barrel that he wants me to wear later. And we call him Baby Carlos, Ruben with Beacon. We nicknamed him Baby Carlos at SRC 2 years ago. I probably couldn't think of his name or something. I just made a fictitious name for him. But both of them were running around. But that's what it's about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're good to be around.
It's so much fun, you know, and I think a lot more of us could learn something from that, not to take ourselves so damn serious.
Yeah.
You know,
I honestly, in my entire life, I've done a lot of things, been a lot of places, and I've quit jobs just because I simply didn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't like what I'm doing, I'm not going to stay. Money's important. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
you know what? If I hate my job, I'm not staying.
yeah,
And the more I like my job, the better I'm going to do. And that's one of the things too, you know, talking about culture, we want the people that work for us and that we work with, we want to provide people with a place that they enjoy. You know, like last week we put together, we had an area in like one of our main production rooms where we sat down, everybody had lunch, and, you know, cross teams, it was sales and production and some management people. And we all sat down and we didn't talk about work. We talked about fun stuff and, you know, the food we were eating or whatever. And it was like a good half hour, 45 minutes. But it enjoyable, like it was fun, and you know, you learn something about some people you didn't know before or whatever, and that's the kind of culture that we're building at GeoSpan, and you see that at Roofle. And when GeoSpan and Roofle get together, we enjoy. You know, it's a good time. We've met some people here, you know, a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun, met some really good people, people I look forward to working with. Not only just doing business, but next time we see each other, you know, sit down and have a beer or, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, have a meal together, just sit and talk about life and how things are going. And that builds the kind of business that really, makes me enjoy it.
yes,
I
100%.
love having great relationships.
Me too. Relationships, you know, that's definitely one thing, and even in your personal life, like surrounding yourself around good people, you know, not just at work, but after work, and being able to be vulnerable a little bit too. I think that goes a long ways and transparent about how we conduct business, how we conduct our personal lives, and not just say these things while we're on camera. You know, the same conversation that we were having off camera is the same kind of conversation that we're having on camera right now.
Yep.
And again, getting back to like, this is why we continue to keep doing this. This is where I feel fulfilled, right? Is meeting you. Like, and I know we're going to stay in touch regardless if we do business or not, but I'm sure at some point in time we probably will, because of the relationship, the bond that Mike, you know, had presented us with.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
you know what I mean? And that's how this works. And thank God. And we were talking about how the roofing industry has become so small. Yes, it's huge. Don't get me wrong. I don't even remember how many roofing contractors there is in the United States, but I know there's a lot. But because of social media and because of roofing conferences, we get the opportunity to meet other people, like-minded people. And again, there's like this, I was calling it yesterday, like this cultivating evolution that's happening right now. And if you look those two words up, they both mean the same thing, but one's kind of like the preparation for growth, and then evolution is more like, you know, cultivation's like the preparation for growth. And I think of a farmer every time I say hear cultivation.
Yes.
It's kind of like they go out, they plow the fields, fertilize it, plant the seeds, and then the evolution is of the corn or the apple tree, you know, growing. And I feel like the roofing industry is in a cultivating evolution right now, where it's kind of like same with Win the Storm. And we've had this conversation I don't know how many times this week. You know, Win the Storm's kind of like the phoenix rising out of the ashes right now.
That's a really good analogy. That's, I mean, that's how I see it, because, you know, leaving it last year and coming here this year, and even the prep to come here,
Yeah.
you know, the plan, do we want to go, do we not want to go?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we came.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
Yeah,
we
me
came.
too.
And out of the ashes, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, should we go? Should we not
Yeah,
go?
same.
And I'm absolutely glad that we came.
Yeah,
It's been
same,
a
same.
really
Because
good-
I think
good
we
time so
committed like a week ago that we were coming. Because
Oh, wow.
I was kind of like, we were like, yeah, we're coming maybe months ago. But then it was kind of like, you know, is this worth leaving work? You know, is this worth leaving my family? Is this really worth it? And then I was talking to Josie several times, and not like, hey, will you come? But more so, I respect you so much. I have a lot of questions for you. How you think I should do this? So he was calling me and asking me for advice, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
makes it more real.
yeah,
You
like,
know, it's
okay.
not a front, or I'm just trying to do this to get here.
No, and he didn't take my advice with a grain of salt either. Like, he applied some of it. You know what I mean? And not that I've hosted an entire event before.
I can't
You know?
imagine the logistics.
Yeah, and like in the short amount of time to pull this off, I'm sure there was hiccups.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we haven't experienced really that any hiccups, not with Wind Storm whatsoever.
Nope.
But the way and the team that he's built, going back to the culture and the team, every single person that we've dealt with, from SVG to Wind the Storm, you know, Mike the Hammer to all of them, all the ladies that are running around, Kaylee, shoot, I can't think of their other names, but everybody has been phenomenal. You guys got everything you need. Is there anything that I
Yep.
can do for
Yep.
you?
Swing by. Hey, how'd everything go? Was your stuff where it needed
Yeah.
to be? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, even to go in to get, you know, outbound shipping.
Yes.
And the other thing too is that I know stuff like this can be extremely stressful for the people that are putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I haven't seen any of that stress transferred from them to me or our group,
100%.
you know, hey, where's this? Where's that? Oh yeah, let me get that for you. Or, you know, come right over here. Everybody's been more than pleasant,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and a lot of times you see that stress come out, or somebody snap at you, you know, like
Yeah.
parents that are angry at each other taking out on a kid or whatever, same kind of deal. Haven't seen that from anybody here.
Me
Their
neither.
team's been phenomenal.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a great job. They've done a phenomenal job. And then the who's who, you know, the people, I mean, in the industry are here. Like, Dimitri was here.
Yep.
April Hall was here. Other people that host their own events were here. And then heavy hitters, Josh Bigger's here. I don't know if you met Josh or not. He's from Canada.
I don't think so.
He's a great guy. He does his character on social media, like the drunken cocaine roofer guy. Totally not that guy in real life. Awesome. It's just a character. I can't
Yeah.
remember what the hell he calls himself. Big time. Has this thing. I can't believe you haven't seen him. He's a trip.
Oh, I'm gonna go look
But
as soon as we're done.
Yeah,
I'll look.
he traveled the whole way from Canada. Matt Radford from Roofer, he's here. Chuck Allen, we did an interview with him. He's got a podcast that he does, and came on, and I'm gonna get on his podcast. He came and got on ours. Erico with Roofers and Recovery is here. Catchall's here. Heath Hicks. I actually get to sit on a speaker panel with him. It's just like everybody. This has been like a huge reunion of event holders, people that cast their own events, to everybody, that all the gadgets. You're here. I see the equipters over there. So it has been, and I think they're cashing that check that their ass wrote. You know, it's day 2.5, day 3, whatever it is. We've been here for a couple of days. I really feel like Josie had formulated a team of people who actually care. Not that the other team didn't, but sometimes we lose momentum.
Yeah.
But he's been able to pick the torch up and run with it. I've been trying to say that as much as we can while we're live, and typically everyone that we've talked to and interviewed with has said the same message, like, yeah, they're doing a great job. And I just want people to know that, because Wind the Storm is where Jana and I, my wife, hold Wind the Storm near and dear to our hearts, because this is where it began for us, meaning we thought we were by ourselves running mom and pop roofing shop, right? We didn't know there was other roofing contractors in the world. We did in our local market, but
Yeah.
but the
Not like on a national level kind of.
yeah,
Like,
kind of thing. I don't know. It just opened our eyes so much that, like, oh my God, there's people out there actually doing $50 million in business.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, and we've grown exponentially because of the seeds that were planted while we were here, year over year over year over year. 7, 8. This might be the 8th year that we've attended. 2nd year with the podcast, but like our 8th year of attending Win the Storm. So. Love Anthony Domenico. Love what he did. I know, can't take it for granted that, or be naive to the fact that he was the trailblazer when it came to, and I'm probably wrong about this, but like I feel like he was one of the trailblazers to host a private, roofing conference, not like an ABC, not like a GAF,
Right.
corporation, but
Yep.
but a private individual to host his own. I think April Hall actually, now that I think about it, has been doing it like for 11 years now. But there's not many people that have the balls to throw all that money out there and put everything out there
Yeah.
and run it continuously as long as he had.
It's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
It's a huge gamble. I mean, and especially the first, or like in this situation, doing from the ashes, because that's almost harder than starting from scratch, because it's not that nobody knows you, it's people do know you, and they might have a worse opinion of you than if they didn't know you.
Absolutely.
Or the standard you have to be held against. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
It takes a lot to put something. I mean, I couldn't imagine trying to put something
Me neither,
together,
because
and
this is
especially in a
stressful
short
enough.
period of time.
My 20 by 20 booth was stressful enough, opposed to a freaking venue filled with a bunch of roofers. Roofing companies or other companies affiliated with the roofing industry cannot be easy to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. So,
No.
but this has been a great, phenomenal episode. So if somebody wanted to use your services or reach out that had more questions, what's the best way to
Yep.
contact you guys?
Honestly, the easiest way is you can go to geospan.com. We have facts in there. We have a special right now for Win the Storm eventee or people that were at the event. We have our 2 products. We have G Square, which is the really quick 20-second one. It's really cheap. It's 1 credit, $5.
Wow.
So you have the ability to go, if you're at somebody's house and you're doing an estimate and the neighbor comes over and says, hey, what are you doing? Oh, will you check my house out? We took input from that product at IRE, was it a month ago, 5-6 weeks ago? And we listened to people about that and what would be more helpful to that tool. And we actually came out with a 3rd product now that's a spinoff of that called G Storm, that instead of just having the roof area and the pitch measurement or the pitch range, we added homeowner information, aerial pictures, and recent storm data. And we're looking at adding some other things into it as well. We're looking for customer feedback. We're running a special, not everybody from Win the Storm. It goes live on Tuesday. Everybody from Win the Storm that uses this code, and I will apply it to everybody listening to this podcast. It goes till the 31st of this month. The first 2 weeks of it is exclusive for Win the Storm customers or vendors. And then we have our full model called the G Pro, and that is a fully interactive 3D model on our website. You can see a demonstration of it on geospan.com. You can sign up there. If you find us on social media, there's free credits so you can get there, or on our website. So you can try it out, or you can get, it's $150 value for Win the Storm people. And then you can use that for G Square, G Storm, or G Pro. And G Pro gives you all the measurements and everything you need to create an estimate to put together a bill of materials and order a project.
Love it.
So we have the best aerial coverage on the market. I was doing a demonstration yesterday. The guy gave me an address. I think it was in either Florida or Louisiana, and we had aerial imagery from January 25th of this year.
Wow.
Full 360 around the house.
Wow.
So we're using what we learned over the past 30 years and applying it in a little bit different way, all digital, and we want to touch every customer we can, and then get their feedback too. And like we did from leaving IRE, we wanted to put something else out there. We're looking for some more feedback and input, and work with as many customers and other people as we can.
Awesome. I love that. So it is geospan.com. Check these guys out. They're the latest and greatest when it comes to aerial measurement tools. It sounds like it's going to be a game changer for our industry. So check it out. Also, don't forget to like, love, subscribe, review, our Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and our Facebook page. We will check you out probably shortly here in a little bit. I do have a couple speaking engagements coming up today, but hang tight and we will be back at you live from Win the Storm 2024